Welcome to Dave's Cooking Show, which airs every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And today for you, we're going to do a smoked meatloaf sandwich. So what I have here is approximately about 1.5 pounds of beef, a little bit of ground beef, and we're going to be doing 2 tablespoons of Montreal steak seasoning. Either pick up your favorite brand or make it yourself. And then we're going to add about 1 tablespoon of my all-purpose. To make this, it's just simply equal amounts: pepper, salt, onion powder, and garlic powder. And apparently, I've already added it, but add a pound of sausage. The ground beef must be covering up. So that's 1 pound of sausage to 1.5 pounds of ground beef. Put this in a mixer and on very low. You just want to mix this together. And then in a meatloaf pan, you want to take your meat mix and throw it all in there. And you kind of want to just pat it out, making sure it all fits and nothing gets left behind. And then you want to bake it in a 300-degree oven until it reaches an internal temp of 165. If I remember correctly, it'll take about 45 minutes. If you want, you can top the meatloaf, but I decided not to for this particular dish, and I'll show you why in a minute. Okie dokie. So while the meatloaf is baking, it's time for us to make a nice little barbecue sauce for this. So first thing we're going to do is, to a pot, add 1.5 cups of ketchup. And then you want to add 1.5 cups of brown sugar. And by the way, this is why you generally don't put shit on meat until you're ready, until 10 minutes, because that sugar will burn. Then you're going to want 1/2 cup of water. Its biggest mistake a lot of amateurs make is adding the sauce too soon. 1/2 cup of apple cider vinegar. And you want to add 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Or Worcestershire sauce, I think that's how you pronounce it. And then also 1 tablespoon of molasses. Okay, and then you want to have 1/2 tablespoon of salt, 1/2 tablespoon of pepper, and then you want 1.5 tablespoons of dried mustard, 1 tablespoon of paprika, 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, and then at least 1 tablespoon of hot sauce. And you want to stir all this around. And then bring it over to the stove, and we're going to get some heat to it, okay? Okay, so on a low heat, you can see, grab your whisk, and you just want to stir all this around. And then you want to simmer it for roughly 30 minutes. So again, low heat, and then you just want to simmer it for roughly 30 minutes. Don't worry, it'll be done long before you pull the meatloaf out of the oven. Okay, our meatloaf is done and looking good. By this point, the smoker should probably have been fired up by now, because this is not going to take very long, and you're not going to need a very big smoke. Then you want to slice the meatloaf up into about 1/2-inch pieces. And you're going to want to bring them out to the smoker. Okay, got our smoker fired up to about 200 degrees. Remember, temp really doesn't matter because we're not looking to really cook anything. Everything's already cooked. We're just kind of giving this a little bit of a smoked kiss. So you're going to, but you do want it hot enough to caramelize the sauce. So lay these pieces out and give them a couple of minutes to get heated up, and we'll be ready for the next step. All right, they've had a bit of time on the smoker. They're heated up sufficiently. So remember that barbecue sauce we made that we bottled? Just want to give these all a good, generous splash of that there sauce. And then reclose the lid and let the sauce caramelize a little bit. It'll be roughly with the heat, probably 5-10 minutes. Just keep your eye on it. Traditionally, this should have been on white bread, but I decided to go with a bun. It's what I had. And just, yeah, put it on a bun, and that's it. Smoked meatloaf sandwich. Done.